Is it one of them, like, how did it come about that you started investigating him? Was it like through a TV company? Because you'd left the police by then, hadn't you?
Yeah, so I'd left the police. I was doing a report for BBC Newsnight. I did quite a lot of reports for them, and I'd just coming back from Interpol, where I was with my producer in Lyon, and we were getting on the plane. And whilst we were in the queue of the plane, he said to me, and I can remember it clearly now, he said to me, "Do you know anything about Jimmy Savile being arrested for child abuse?" And I went, "No." I said, "No." I said, "He's a weird bloke, but no." I said, "I've never heard that at all." I said, "Where's that come from?" He said, "Well, there's a lot about it on the internet. There's a group on the internet who are from a children's home, and a number of them have said that he's abused them, although they don't use his direct name. They use an alias or his initials. And apparently he was arrested by the police." I said, "Well, not to my knowledge." And I said, "Yeah, but I can do some inquiries and look at it." And actually it transpires that he'd been arrested by my old police force. But at the stage that he'd been arrested, I'd left the job. And so if he had done whilst I'd been there, I probably would have dealt with him, probably would have been my case. I certainly would have known about it. But they dealt with him, and matter didn't go any further forward. And then BBC Newsnight were looking to do a programme about him being a sex offender. But their line of the story they wanted from their editor was about failings of the police investigation. And when it became clear that actually you couldn't from the outset say that the police had failed, albeit down the road you could show some major mistakes they'd made, you couldn't clearly say they'd failed to investigate it. The editor felt that wasn't a story. And the producer said to me, "We're not going to run anything." And I said, "Well, that's just mad." I said, "That's the story, is that he's a sex offender. The fact of whether or not the police failed to do it right, or organizations heard something and didn't do anything about it, that is secondary. First of all, he's a sex offender, and that is the story." And so I said, "Well, can I run with it?" And he said, "Yeah, you're probably the only person that can get it out there." So I went to ITV and I said to them, "Look, I've got this. I think it's really big, but a lot of work needs to be done on it. The victims need to be established. We need to establish a clear, pattern of offending behaviour, particularly if we're going to go out into the public domain and accuse this man of child sexual abuse." And they said, "Yeah, let's go with it. Let's run with it." So I set about for a period, or in total 12 months, but probably for the first 6 to 7 months, trying to find victims, trying to find those people that would give us an account to support or show that actually he was or wasn't a sex offender. So we kind of really came from it from a very impartial point of view. But the point to which we started looking at him, he had already died. And this is really important, because had he not have died, we, ITV, would never have been able to broadcast the programme, and indeed nobody else would have done. He had to die for a programme to be made about him.
Why is that? Just for the comeback off it, or his lawyers would have been right on it as soon as he got a sniff of it, or is that high profile?
He'd have just been so litigious. He'd have challenged. He'd have done everything. He had had enough money and a backing behind him that he would have fought the whole thing, and no broadcaster would have gone up against him.